I entered in a marriage saying that he had money and all this.
Thank you for being here.
Here you go. Thank you. You're welcome. Lucky I'm here.
All right, I'm going to call the case. It's entitled Crown Asset Management as an assignee of First Bank and Trust versus Catherine Irwin. It's a claim for $2,287.43. Ms. Irwin.
Yes, sir.
Sued by this company. And from the very beginning, she contended that this was a fraudulent debt incurred by her short-time husband, John Hardy. Here's Attorney LaCorey. She's a little late.
Sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I started the case. I'll back up and start over again. We're making a record of the matter of Crown Asset Management versus Catherine Irwin. Attorney Veronica LaQuarrie is here, and she was here the last time on August 11th, 2025. Catherine Irwin is here with me today. She's in the conference room at the courthouse. The claim is with costs $2,287.43. Miss?
Buckle up, guys. Today we're stepping into a courtroom moment where quiet tension meets an unfolding storm. As the judge opens the case, he lays out the claim against Catherine Irwin, a $2,287 debt tied to a credit card she insists was fraudulently opened by her short-term husband, John Hardy. Even before the arguments begin, the room shifts when the attorney arrives late, prompting the judge to restart the hearing. From the outset, the judge makes clear, today isn't about drama between ex-spouses, it's about whether this debt is real, valid, and tied to her name. And as he recaps the investigation, the situation already feels far more tangled than a simple unpaid bill.
Irwin had contended all along that this was a fraudulent card. And way back in 23, the Discover Bank said, we're going to look into this and see if it's a false debt. The plaintiff has supplied the charging history of this, and there were a number of charges here and there, including a number of charges in Three Rivers, Wild Bill's Tobacco, gas stations locally, Bluegate Theater in Shipshewana, some other things that were charged on the card. Ms. LaCorey, could you turn your camera on?
Yes, I apologize. I didn't realize it wasn't on.
All right. Well, we started at 8. You came in a little later, so we had to back up and start over again. Anyway, when we were here in August, you did not ask for a default at that time. Ms. Irwin did not appear.
Moving into this next segment, the judge reviews the long trail of charges: tobacco shops, gas stations, a theater trip, all small but consistent transactions pointing to someone actively using the card. When the attorney finally gets her camera on, the judge notes that at the last hearing, she could have asked for a default since Catherine didn't appear, but she didn't. Instead, she requested a delay to allow the fraud review to finish. Now Catherine is present, and the judge confronts her directly. Is she still claiming her ex-husband stole her identity? She stands firm. Yet the judge presses further, questioning whether this was fraud or simply a bad marriage tied to bad financial decisions, and whether she's now carrying the fallout.
But you said there was a fraud investigation going on and we would reset the matter about 60 days. And see what the status was. In the meantime, on October 8th, I received a proposed default judgment from the plaintiff. I haven't signed it. Ms. Irwin is now here. Ms. Irwin, is it still your contention that this was a fraudulent use of your name and information from John Hardy?
Yes.
All right, well, what if you and John Hardy entered into this marriage and entered into this credit card, and both of them were a bad idea, and charges were made while you were married to him, and gas stations, tobacco shops, concerts, then you divorced him and you got stuck with his bill as a co-signer on this credit card. What's your response to that?
This man is a fraudulent.
Here the emotional temperature spikes. Catherine explains that her ex-husband manipulated her into marriage, took her across the country, took her documents, and effectively left her trapped. She claims he drained her finances, isolated her, and left her holding bills she never agreed to. But the attorney pushes back, stating her client reviewed every detail and saw no basis for fraud. The card was opened by the couple, payments were made, and the account only went bad when the payments stopped. The judge acknowledges the confusion, but refuses to grant a default now that Catherine is present. Instead, he suggests this may require a full trial to untangle, and the tone shifts from accusation to legal reality.
Person. I entered in a marriage saying that he had money and all this. It is unbelievable. He took me across country. I had no indication that when he was doing this, that he was going to be a fraud. He scammed me into marriage. He scammed me out of my money. He scammed me out of my down payment of my house. This is just a tidbit of what went on. He apprehended me practically, wouldn't let me talk to my friends, wouldn't let me do anything, took me across the country, took my keys, took my ID. I was like a hostage.
All right, well, let me stop for a minute.
It's horrible.
We adjourned this for 60 days, and you and your plaintiff client were going to look into this. What have you discerned regarding this?
Yes, Your Honor. My client did look at it, and after reviewing all of the paperwork, they said that it didn't really make sense. At the end of the day, they did see that, the credit card was opened by the parties. Payments, there were some payments made, and then the payments stopped. So they do not agree with the fraud. And then that's why they wanted to proceed with that default, especially because she didn't appear at the last hearing. Now, of course, I'm willing to, talk about a settlement with her, but we can't. The client cannot close it out. They do not agree with the fraud claim.
Your Honor?
Yes, just a moment.
Okay.
You were subject to default last time because you didn't show up. They didn't ask for a default. They continued it for today to see if you'd show up. So they can't now ask for a default. They had an opportunity to do it and didn't. You're here now.
As this section opens, the judge zeroes in on the details. Catherine signed the credit card. Someone used it. Someone paid it. And now the debt sits unpaid. Even when she points out she doesn't smoke, insisting all tobacco charges were her ex's, the judge pushes forward. When she mentions missing the last hearing because she was preparing for surgery, the courtroom pauses, but rules remain rules. The judge allows her to step into a breakout room with the attorney to discuss settlement options privately. It's a moment of quiet before the next wave, but the tension is clear. If no settlement is made, the legal gears continue turning, whether she can pay or not.
Their contention is whether this was an ill-advised enterprise on your part, marrying this guy, signing your name on a credit card, going to Kentucky and doing whatever else happened, that it isn't their fault. Somebody charged up $2,000 worth of stuff and never paid the bill, and they still want their money. So I'm not gonna grant a default. We may have to have further things, including a trial, I suppose, if necessary, or motion for summary disposition. I'll explain that in a minute. But the bottom line is, apparently you signed this credit card while you were married to this guy. Do you smoke?
No, never.
So everything at Wild Bill's Tobacco was for him?
Yep.
All right. Well, let me put you in what's called a breakout room. What did you want to say?
On August 11th, I was preparing for surgery, which I have now had, on August 29th.
All right. Well, I'm not going to grant
I have not worked since 1/6 of this year.
Now, you used to work for the Transportation Authority. Were you still there?
No, I got hurt on the job and my whole left side was destroyed saving someone.
All right. I'm going to put you in a breakout room. I'm not sure we're going to accomplish much, but I'm going to let you speak privately with Attorney LaQuarrie, which is why you're in that little conference room, so you can speak privately outside of my presence.
Yes.
If we were both here in the courthouse, we could just do it in one of the conference rooms, but we use this electronic breakout room for you guys to talk privately. So I'm going to let you two speak, and then I'll wait here and think about things, and I'll see you in a few minutes, and then we'll decide how we're going to proceed. Click the button that says join.
After the breakout room, the attorney returns with an uncomfortable truth. No agreement was reached. She explains Catherine lives on SSI, has no assets, and has virtually no income, meaning even if a judgment is entered, collection would be nearly impossible. Still, without approval from her client, she must move forward legally. The judge steps back into the conversation, acknowledging Catherine's hardships, but emphasizing a crucial point. Even if her ex-husband was abusive or fraudulent, she still signed the credit card. And unless there is solid, verifiable proof of fraud, the court cannot dismiss the claim based solely on her testimony. A looming sense of inevitability settles in.